I keep very strict to just doing Power Ranger content because I really don't know a lot about other shows, but I went to Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and to be honest, it kind of scared me a bit. And just to let everybody know, big spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet, I will be kind of revealing some things. Transformers is owned by Hasbro, which Power Rangers is as well. In the movie, they also reference G.I. Joe, revealing that this is the same cinematic universe. There may be a potential crossover in the future, and if they're going to do some big cinematic 80s, 90s endgame sort of crossover with these franchises, is Power Rangers going to be included in that? And is that actually a good thing for us as Power Ranger fans? Now, the cinematic Power Ranger universe is supposed to be being developed by Jonathan Entwistle. I even did a video about Jenny Klein, who had come onto the project as well. But that's been a while now, and there hasn't been any updates as to if they're still working on it or if it's been scrapped. And it's starting to get a lot of people, myself included, wondering if they're just not doing anything with it. But back to why did this movie scare me? Transformers honestly really isn't my thing. It came before my time, but I was a Beast Wars kid. Man, I loved Beast Wars. I loved Beast Machines. I dove into that show probably as much as I did with Power Rangers at the time. I have favorite characters. Rhinox is my favorite character in the whole thing. And what really upset me is this movie completely ignored all the material from Beast Wars and Beast Machines. Besides Optimus Primal, they put no effort into making these characters anything like the show. And the show was amazing. It was 4 seasons, I believe, for Beast Wars, and then 2 seasons for Beast Machines. I may be wrong about that. One of the things I heard about those shows is that they actually had a limit on how many characters or voice actors they could have at a time. So that's why there were certain characters that would kind of take off and then come back for an episode and take off again. But that would give them the ability to really focus on characters and develop them and kind of get you to love those characters a lot more. They didn't have any source material. All these movies they've been doing, all these things with Transformers, they keep it pretty close to the actual show or all the things that came before it. But with Beast Wars, it was a completely blank slate. They could do whatever they wanted with it. In my opinion, I think they had better character development. I think we had better characters. Every time I've watched Transformers, which isn't that often to be honest, the original, it just seems like they're pretty generic robot characters. Optimus Prime, of course, has a pretty specific personality, and some of the other ones have slight personalities, but they're for the most part very robotic. When I went and watched the movie, it became so painfully obvious that they only use these characters to sell tickets, which I understand is part of the point. They've done a lot of Transformers movies. They got to start doing something new. But Cheetor and Rhinox they didn't really get much dialogue at all. I think Cheetor talked once or twice, and Rhinox, I don't even know if he talked at all in the whole movie. I honestly thought that they were never going to transform. I thought, are they just going to keep them as animals the whole time? And they did finally, right at the last fight scene, did say, Primals maximize, which was awesome. But Cheetor and Rhinox both maximize off in the distance. You can barely see them, and then they run off screen. And it just made me more ticked off. And all I really wanted, a 1-minute fight scene or 40 seconds of Rhinox kicking butt, or Cheetor, being crazy, running off, not listening to orders, and just doing things his own way. But they didn't really show us at all. I mean, I couldn't get a good glimpse of Rhinox or Cheetor in their transformed state at all. I mean, it really upset me because I love those characters so much. And they didn't even include main characters in the show like Rat Trap or Dinobot at all. The entertainment industry has been scaring me a little bit. Star Wars has openly admitted to just kind of scrapping all of George Lucas's ideas and just kind of doing whatever and not really thinking much about where the plot's going or who people are or anything like that. Marvel has had a couple shows that really aren't very good, and a lot of the movies lately, at least for me, I kind of feel are like, they're fine. They're not amazing, but they're okay. And now seeing them do Beast Wars without showing any appreciation toward the fandom or the people who like Beast Wars, that's what frustrates me and scares me, because I don't want that to be what happens to Power Rangers. We had the 2017 movie, which they worked really, really hard on, and it didn't do very well. But when you watch the behind the scenes or the documentary of it, they worked their butts off on that movie, and they loved Power Rangers, and they wanted to represent Power Rangers really well. So at this point, who knows if Power Rangers is going to have a strong cinematic universe or be a part of this one. But I'll say our 30th anniversary special, Once and Always, did a really great job at showing appreciation to each individual character. I've talked about this in other videos, but characters like Rocky, played by an actor who doesn't really act anymore, they still gave him easy, funny lines that he could do and just kind of be a silly character.
Relax, relax. Don't blow a circuit. I'm just kidding.
Which is what his character was anyway. They also gave a decent amount to Catherine Sutherland. There was a sign of Bulk and Skull. They did a great job just giving a little tribute to each character, even if it wasn't a ton. At least they were included. That's something that I'm really glad they did. And with the Transformers franchise, I don't need them to make a whole movie about Cheetor, but give him a bit of thought. Whether you want to hire the same voice actor who did it in the show or just give him a few lines that are fun or funny. I mean, he was a fun character. Didn't even do anything with him. You just kind of had him there. I just hope Power Rangers doesn't get sucked into this sort of mundane movie franchises that don't do very well or don't really show appreciation to the source material. I love what Power Rangers has been doing since Hasbro took over, so I am trusting that they're going to take care of it. I just hope that Michael Bay doesn't get his hands on it, or somebody who's just going to blow it up into some no effort and just kind of throw it out there. The nostalgia will bring in the tickets. Who cares how good it is? I hope they don't do that. Power Rangers has been going so well. I can't wait for Cosmic Fury. Once and Always was outstanding. If you haven't seen that yet, you really should. I have a whole breakdown about that as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. Talk to you later. Bye.